Hey, there's this idea that came up recently about raising your frequency and the whole process of being in this vibe of attraction being a privilege. And when I first heard that, I was just like, wow, I totally get it. I just read the title, I didn't even read any further into it, but pretty much the idea is, especially at the moment with a lot going on in terms of people of colour, Indigenous people, discrimination. In Victoria, we've got stuff happening with buildings being shut down and people being locked in their homes, but they are just in low socioeconomic groups, and there's a whole lot of debate going on at the moment about all of that sort of thing. And so this idea is that you can't really just talk about raising your vibration unless you address things like ancestral trauma, generational trauma, things that are passed down through us culturally. And these are the racial, cultural, economical, systemic conditions that we actually have to navigate when we're living in this world. Ultimately, we are spiritual beings, so we're far bigger than the experience that we're embodying in our human experience. But the fact of the matter is that at some point, and no matter how much focusing on our universal self we do, at some point we do come back and we get grounded because we interact in a human world. And so this is the world in which we have to take into consideration where we came from, our past conditioning, and everything that was layered to create the person with the thoughts, the feelings, the belief systems that we currently have today. And I can 100% relate to this on a deeply personal level, because I can see the difference between the way that I think and process something and the way that my mum and my grandmother would have done the same thing compared to the way that my daughter does it. You see it in everyday situations. When you think about it, our grandparents were probably working in war times. My grandma used to get on a boat and row herself across some sort of a channel to get to school. My mum had to walk ages to get to and from school every single day, and then catch I don't know how many buses and walk to play her netball game on a Saturday. And then, I mean, we were brought up in a tiny as rural town. We went and we used to swim down in the river for PE. We didn't have pools where we were brought up. And when you look now to what my daughter has, and if you were to compare the parents and the grandparents of the children that she goes to school with every day, and this is probably a really extreme contrast because she attends one of Melbourne's most awesome private schools. I totally live it every day. In this new work that I am doing, I'm sharing with women just like me. I have a special place in my heart for women who are recently separated, but obviously anybody, and not just women of course. I'm helping everybody and anybody who wants to learn. I'm really excited to be able to share from this perspective of understanding where you might have come from or where you might be now. The idea of building your abundance and wealth mentality in order for you to fuel your own self-care means so much to me right now. I'm not only sharing sort of philosophical and theoretical, spiritual and holistic beliefs, but I'm also sharing some really, really awesome practical tools that you're going to be able to set up in your life to build a full-scale system to support your abundance mindset, your finances, and then ultimately your self-care and well-being. If you're interested in keeping in touch about it, you want to be first on the list to know when it comes out, go to the link in bio, become an insider, and I'll see you on the IG stories.